Hello, superhumans. Are you ready to dive into associative remote viewing? A mind-bending way to glimpse the future through psychic association. Come with an open mind. Feel the reveal, light and expansive or tight and restraint. Share your gut feeling in the comments. If you love all things woo, hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss another woo video where we chase the raw truth. Let's get into it. All right, superhumans, we are doing associated remote viewing because we do know our target on King Charles and what does 2026 bring for him. That seems to be pervasive. Everybody wants to know what is happening with King Charles. And, as much as I am a Princess Diana fan, I do have compassion for the man. I don't think anybody needs to be this level of sick. And you have to kind of have a little bit of sympathy. This is a man who's dedicated his entire life to becoming king, not knowing any other life but that. And then he ascends only to be hit with this massive illness and then trying to, quote, be king while being this sick. So my heart does kind of go out to him for that. So anyway, I remote viewed him. And we're going to do kind of a see where you land with the remote view.
Okay.
And if we don't agree, I'm going to let you know. Then we'll have to duke it out, see who's right. Sometimes we disagree, and then when we look at it a little bit longer, we find out it's just a language issue. How did we ask the question? So I think that's really interesting. All right, Christina, thank you for joining me. Anything that you'd like to say before we get started about
Nope.
poor old King?
Oh, I like you said, I have compassion for him too. Yeah, I think it really sucks that, like you say, he ascends and then is diagnosed with cancer. It's like, come on, give the man a break.
Yeah,
So,
it's sad. It really is sad. And he's still a relatively young man. I mean, he's well, I can't say that. He's about my brother's age, so but still, if he's healthy, you can live quite a few years yet.
for sure.
But anyway, the most prominent question that people have with King Charles is what type of cancer he has. I'm not sure why they want to keep it private. I don't understand the logic of that because, he's a public person, and anybody who's having that type of cancer could certainly be helpful to him, to them. And when I tuned into him, Um, I I know everybody sort of thinks he must have prostate cancer, but that didn't hit. That did not hit.
Nope.
What did hit was lymphatic cancer. And I think the only reason why they might be keeping it private is because when it hits the lymphatic system, that's almost like a 2-year death sentence. And I think they're trying to protect, the integrity of the institution. You
Right.
know, I don't think he wants people looking at him like he's on a death watch. Does that make sense? No death watch.
Right.
Let's just
Right.
focus on the work because I feel like
Right.
Prince or King Charles would be wanting people to focus on the work and not his illness.
Right.
Uh-oh. There we are. Are you back?
Yeah.
You went off for a second.
Oh, okay.
I lost you for a second. All right.
Oopsie.
So I think maybe the only thing that makes sense, the reason he wants to keep his illness private is that he wants his work, as short as it may to be focused on the work he ascended the throne to do. And by people knowing the type of cancer that he may have, they're going to be like on a death watch. And I got lymphatic cancer. So if that's the case, that's pretty severe. That's a
Yeah.
pretty severe, unless people are willing to follow Dr. Campbell on YouTube. So if you do have that type of cancer, go follow Dr. Campbell. I'll leave a link in the video or in the description box below. People don't have to suffer. They can get treatment that is life changing, literally. But let's go back to King.
Yeah.
Back to the King.
Yeah. Yeah, I got that it was not prostate cancer at all. That didn't sit with me. So, yeah. So I would have to agree with lymphatic cancer.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
So, as that information came in, can you kind of let us know when I said, is he protecting that because he wants to keep it private? And you're wondering why keep it private? So, that's what I got when I asked
Yeah.
that question.
I mean, think about it this way. I think from an energetic perspective, if you're constantly focusing or having a death watch, like that kind of energy that you're putting out, like that's what people would kind of be putting out is the whole waiting for somebody to die energy. You don't need that. And it does distract from what he's trying to accomplish. So I could see
Especially,
why you
yeah,
wouldn't
because he's got such a small window
right,
in order to work before his body gives out.
right. And I mean, his mother lived so long that, you know, that was just the way it went. So yeah.
Everybody loved the Queen. I mean, she was kind of the mother, grandmother of
Mhm.
our generation, you
Yeah,
know?
I know when you say, who's the reigning monarch, it's hard for me now to not say Queen Elizabeth II. It's like, no, no,
I know, because
it's
she has been
Charles.
there since she was, what, 70 plus years. I mean, it's
Right,
insane.
right.
And good for her. And she was such a lovely person. I mean, she was very focused on her duty.
Mhm,
And, I think about how just literally hours before she died, she met with a new prime minister.
mhm. Yeah,
That's the dedication she had
yeah,
to her country.
yeah.
So, and I feel to some degree, King Charles also has that level of dedication.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
so,
Yeah, yeah, he does, for sure.
yeah. So, but when I tuned in, and then the way I asked it, because there is no death. I mean, death is the illusion. Yes, we
Mhm.
drop this physical meat suit,
Yeah.
but our personality continues on. So when you ask the question in associated remote viewing, when is somebody going to die, you don't really get an answer because it's like, what are you talking
What are
about?
you talking about? That's not a thing. That's not a thing.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, how do I ask this to get more of a clear answer?
Mhm.
So anybody who's doing remote viewing, associated remote viewing, be very mindful of the language that you use, because you get the junk answer or question in, you're going to get the junk answer out, right? Input,
Mhm.
output.
Yep.
So when I got to the question about the poor guy's demise, which I hate to say this, I feel it's coming. And I remote viewed him about a year ago, and I said, that window is very tight. It's just,
Mhm.
and I feel like it's coming. And I still feel like it's coming. And I feel like, so the best way to ask that for me was to ask, when is Prince William going to ascend to the kingship, to being king?
Right. Ascend to the throne.
Yes, ascend to the throne. And I got June, July, August window of this year of 2026.
Okay. Yeah, that tracks. Yeah.
And it's one of those emotional feels, because he just exudes Princess Diana. I mean, and he's embodying the life that Princess Diana wanted,
Mhm.
where, Princess Diana, she wanted to have her husband. She wanted her husband. I do
Mhm.
feel that she walked into that marriage. She loved Prince Charles, you
Mhm.
know. But I think, though, when it came clear that he didn't love her, I think she wanted to back out, but it was
Right.
like too late.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, you're
There was
committed
there
now.
was no way out. Yeah.
Right. So I think that's why she said she felt like the lamb to the slaughter.
Mhm.
But I think she wanted to have that connectedness with somebody
Mhm.
that William has with Catherine. And
Yeah.
so, for me, it's like it almost makes me cry in a way, which sort of surprises me because one, I'm an American. If King Charles came in, I would be pleasant to him as I would any stranger, but I wouldn't be bowing to him because we fought a war.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that wouldn't have to be. I mean, I would cherish him as the human being he is, but I wouldn't elevate him beyond anybody else. I
Mhm.
guess I would put it that way. Maybe I'll probably get hits for that, saying, "What are you talking about? That's mean." But it makes me feel in a way like a family member. That's
Mhm.
sort of how it feels, where you have that kind of love, dislike. I don't like the way he treated Diana. And
Right.
I wish he had been strong enough to say, I don't love her. I'm not going to marry her. If I can't have the woman I love, like his uncle did or great uncle did,
Right.
then,
Yeah.
it could have just saved so much. But at the other hand, we wouldn't have Prince William. And I
Right.
just think he's a gem, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And I just and Catherine is so suited to him. I mean, when they look at each other, these two are so connected.
Mhm.
They truly do care about each other. They have each other's back.
Yeah.
And so from that standpoint, I'm kind of thrilled for him
Right.
because he is the embodiment of Diana, who I just adored. And
Mhm.
and I think that if the monarchy has any chance of surviving, it's going to be through these two.
Yeah.
All right, I'm off my soapbox. What do you say?
Yeah. I also, I grew up, you know, in the 80s, when, that relationship, like, that was the thing that you talked about. I mean, I had the Diana haircut. I got up early to watch the wedding. So I was all about, Princess Diana and seeing how, she really did want to have, that type of connected relationship that you're talking about that William has with Kate. She wanted that, and
Mhm.
that's just not what happened. So,
No.
that's the really sad part of all of it, that's the way kinda things fell, but, like you say, at least we have William who you when you look at him, you can see Diana.
Mhm.
So, you know.
When I looked at him coming into the throne,
Mhm.
and Charles' last days, when I remote viewed Charles, and I sort of put William in that same box because you can't have one without the other because of
Mhm.
that continuation.
Right.
I feel that the relationship. I know the reporting is that there's this massive rift between Charles and William. And I think the only rift is when it comes to Harry and how to approach Harry. And I do feel that Dad is going to handle it much differently than Brother is going to handle it.
Mhm.
And so if there's any discourse between the two of them, I feel like it's in how do we deal with the prince who no longer wants to be a prince, right?
Mhm.
How do we deal with that?
Mhm.
Moving forward.
Mhm.
And I feel Charles having this inner conflict with him, knowing he should probably handle it one way, but that's his son, that's his baby. And
Mhm.
oh, by the way, may I just say, may I get on my high horse for just a minute? For those saying that Harry is not King Charles' son, you are wrong
So wrong.
because only because, the guy that she had an affair with had red hair and Harry has red hair. That does not make them not father and son, Charles and Harry. Charles has redhead genes on his side of the family.
Mhm.
Don't believe me? Look at Andrew's daughters. They
Mhm.
have that red tint in their hair. So one more so than the other. One's a little bit darker. But the red hair, trust me, I know, is a recessive gene, and it has to be provided by both sets of parents. I understand the dude she had an affair with has red hair, but that does not make him Harry's father. One, he came in about 2 years later after Harry's birth. They had no knowledge of each other prior to that. And if people look at Harry, his eyes and nose, he has his dad's eyes and nose.
Mhm.
I mean, he looks just like Charles right through here.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
anyway, I had to get on. I'm sorry. We're doing King Charles. I want to put that out there.
Right. Right. Well, and I was also well, as you were talking, Diana's brother has red hair.
Right.
So I was like, well, he looks more like his mom's brother, his uncle, in some
Hmm.
respects. So he
He
has,
does.
yeah,
But then they would say, well, is it Hewitt? James Hewitt, I think, is the
yeah,
alleged
alleged,
father.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that is clickbait. I think that's she did not know James at
right,
the conception of Harry.
right, right,
And Charles has redheads on his side of the family.
right. Well, wasn't Prince Philip a redhead?
I think he did have some red in his, he had blonde hair in
Right,
his youth, but he did have red in his
yeah,
hair for sure.
but I
Yeah.
think he had some red in his hair too. So I
Yeah.
think I think
Yeah.
it's all true stuff.
Right.
So
And so what everybody thinks about Harry right now, I know he's off the rails. And people probably should feel sorry for him more than ding on it. There's a guy that is, well, I won't leave it for this. We will put it in this video, but
yeah,
Harry is the son of King Charles. And
yeah,
when I remote viewed King Charles' last days, I do not feel that he is at peace with his son, Harry, at the time he leaves.
hmm,
That's what I got. That's what I would have you. Let me ask you that when you tune in.
okay.
Is King Charles at peace with his son Harry at the time of his earthly departure?
Well, that's a huge no.
I know. Isn't that sad? It's just so heartbreaking.
Yeah, because I feel like Charles wants that more than anything. He wants the waters to be smoothed out, that he wants people to get along.
Yeah, that's him.
So,
Can't we just all get along?
yeah, we just need to get along. We're family, blood. We need to get along. We need to care for each other, and I can only imagine how hard it has been for Harry being the spare.
Right?
How
From the very
how
beginning.
from the very beginning, how he was treated so much differently than William. And I think Williams worked really hard to correct that with his own children.
Yeah, they've done it, I think, personally, and especially as I feel it out, they've done a beautiful job with their kids. And I think the Middleton family has been very good for William because that's always the family he wanted.
Mhm.
That
A
traditional
traditional
married,
family.
got each other's back,
Mhm.
what's healthy for the kids, that's first. So you can see that in how he treats Catherine. I
Mhm.
mean, he just, and when they started talking about I know we're going squirrel moment here, but when they started talking about Rose Hanbury being the mistress of William, I knew immediately that wasn't true. There
Right.
was no way. Not the way, I mean, you could tell there was rift between Charles and Diana because you could see they just couldn't even stand to be in each other's presence.
Mhm.
But you don't get that. When you look at body language, those
Mhm.
two are just into each other.
Mhm.
And then there's the rest of the world, you
Right.
know. Oh, you're there, And
Mhm.
when I actually kind of did a side remote view on that, and you can tell me what you think.
Okay.
The Rose Hanbury story has its roots in Meghan Markle.
Really? Hmm. That's playing out right.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah. Hmm.
The reason is I think she really had her designs on William. I think Harry was a stepping stone for her before they got married to William. It didn't matter that he was married. How can I drive a wedge?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a whole other story. We're going to do a associated remote view on that because I think that would be interesting. Again, allegedly, this is how I'm reading the energy. I have no facts to back this up. This is how I'm seeing the energy play out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right, last thoughts on King Charles?
Nope, I'm hoping that he gets the Christmas he wants. He deserves it.
Yeah.
He deserves it. So I'm hoping he gets that time with his family and that he really wants.
I hope that he gets peace with Harry.
Yeah.
Before his final breath is taken.
Yeah.
I really do. I feel sorry for the guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so for those praying people out there, pray for him. Do whatever you can.
Mm-hmm.
All right, superhumans, we'll end it there. We're going to do some other remote views on other members of the royal family. Hopefully I won't go squirrel on everybody on that. Try to stay focused on the person in upcoming videos. So please hit the like button, subscribe so you don't miss another woo. Thanks for watching.